In rabbit farming, um, a major aspect of rabbit farming is actually crossing and reproduction of your rabbits, and that's also where the increase in the farm comes from, and also where your profiting comes from. Yeah, because if you have, let's say, 10 females and 4 or 5 males, then they are going to be giving birth, getting crossed. You understand? If 10 females should give you 5 babies each, that's 50 babies. That's an increase of 50 rabbit on your farm that you did not use your money to buy, that came as a result of your reproduction in the farm. So apparently, the reproduction is a very important aspect of your rabbit farming business, and without which you cannot be in profit. So many people are having issues around getting their female rabbits pregnant, and I think I'm going to be using this video to solve some of the challenges that's responsible for the reason why your rabbit is not getting pregnant. So we're going to be talking about how to make your female rabbit get pregnant, and I'm also going to be talking about the factors that have been responsible for why your female rabbit does not seem to get pregnant. So that you can note them, and also know how to adjust where necessary. So I want to say a special thank you to each and every one of you that has been reaching out from this channel. I appreciate your feedbacks, and I'm glad that the channel is educating and doing a lot of good works for people all over the world. Thanks for watching the video, and thanks for reaching out with your feedbacks. The feedbacks are quite impressive, and it inspires me to continue to make more videos. All right, so the first thing you must take note of in order for your female rabbit to get pregnant, or the factor that can hinder your female rabbit from getting pregnant, is if your female rabbit is not matured enough, then she might not get pregnant. Maturity of female rabbit is between 5 to 6 months. So you want to ensure that she is of age before you cross her. Sometimes, some people try to cross the rabbit at 3 months, 4 months, and it's not successful. You understand? So I want to recommend that you should let the rabbit mature fully before you start making attempts of crossing. Even if your rabbit cross at 4 months, if it doesn't have the corresponding body weight, it will have serious issues when it comes to giving birth, and also when it comes to nursing those offspring. So, but when they are of age, they would have had a proper body weight, which will now help them to actually perform very well. So the maturity level is very important. It's a factor you must put into consideration, you know, before trying to make an attempt to cross your female rabbit, in order for the crossing to be successful, so that the female rabbit can conceive. Now, the second one is, before we leave the aspect of proper maturity, I've always said in this video that the male should be older than the female. It used to impact positively on the size of the offsprings and the quality of their growth when you use an older male to cross a particular female. Now, let me clarify something. There are instances where people will be like, okay, but this female is 1 year, and I don't have a male that is 1 year, but I have a male that is 8 months. You can use it. It's not in terms of, when we mean an older male, we don't really mean that the male must be older than a female. What we mean is that the male must be old enough. So if the female is 1 year, maybe she has crossed twice and given birth twice, and you have a male that is 8 months. 8 months is good. You can cross her. But don't use a male of 4 months to now cross a female of 6 months. That is not a good practice. I hope you understand now. So I have to clarify that, because some people will not use their male even at 8 months, 9 months. Abba, it doesn't have to reach 1 year before you start using your male. Anything from 6 months is okay. You understand? So now the next thing is proper feeding. If your female rabbit are not well fed, they're not going to come on it. I'm speaking to you from experience. No matter what you do, they're not going to come on it. And even if you force mate them, like I always say in my videos on YouTube here, I discourage the practice of force mating female rabbits, because it is not a practice to be encouraged. It's an abuse of animal. And most people that practice it don't tend to have a very positive result when it comes to the aspect of nursing. You understand? So let her be on it, so that she will be fully in the production cycle and be willing to cross, and also be willing to take care of the offspring that she will give birth to. So this is something you must critically look into. She must be on it. You understand? And if you are not feeding her properly, if she's not eating the right feed, she's not going to come on it. So, and if you want to get a very good rabbit feed, you can actually get rabbit feed from us. We sell rabbit feed. Good quality rabbit feed that enhances and guarantee good body weight and development and good production for your breeding stock. So feed management is very important. You cannot be feeding your rabbit on grasses alone and you're expecting your female rabbit to get pregnant to come on it and all those things. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Let me just say it straight. It's not going to happen. So if you want your female rabbit to come on it, you want your female rabbit to reproduce and to perform very well, then you want to ensure that your female rabbit is well fed. Both the male and the female should be well fed. As a matter of fact, your farm, your rabbits should be well fed, all of them at every stage, so that it can enhance their growth, their development, and their production altogether. A rabbit that is not well fed, you know, that is suffering from malnutrition is not going to perform very well when it comes to reproduction. Yes, so you want to ensure that your rabbit is well fed. Good feeding management. Feeding them in the morning and the evening. Now, let me answer the question that most of you have always been asking, and that is the issue of when should you feed grasses, when should you feed. Here we don't feed our rabbit grasses every day. Most of the time, what we do here is that they have access to grasses maybe twice in a week, just twice in a week. That's what they do. They are mainly solely on the rabbit feed. You understand? Which has enough balanced nutrient for their growth and development, which can be seen on the performance of our rabbits and their growth rate altogether. So you want to ensure that the rabbit is properly fed. If you are giving your rabbit grasses every day, the challenge is that after a while, your rabbit will be either losing weight or be growing very slow. The growth rate will be slow compared to the one that is on feed. So you don't want to you don't want that to happen, right? So your rabbit should be well fed. You can give them feed in the morning and grasses in the evening, but I don't encourage you to do that every day, because if you give them grasses in the evening, they eat more at night than during the day. Before the following morning, in fact, before midnight, they are done with the grasses and they are left with nothing to eat the following day. So they'll be starving. That's not a good practice. So you want to avoid that. You understand? So proper feeding. The rabbit should be well fed. They should not be malnourished. They should not be starving. If you want them to be a very good breeding stock and a breeding doe. The next number 3 on this list is housing system. Your housing system is very critical. If your rabbit is pregnant, for instance, and you refuse to give the rabbit a nest box, then there are tendency that your rabbit baby might die. Yeah, there are tendency that they might die. They might not survive. And you don't want that to be the experience. You understand? Rabbits do better when it comes to nursing. When you give them a nest box, they do better. They perform better. For example, look at this. This is a nest box I just used recently. You can see that the rabbit 4 are inside. The rabbits 4 are inside. So she used this to nurse her babies. And now the babies are grown enough. They don't need the nest box anymore. You can see them here. You can see them there. They don't need the nest box anymore. They are now grown up. So I remove the nest box. So the nest box ensure that your rabbit babies are preserved. They survive. You understand? And you want to ensure that the rabbit cage is spacious enough to also contain the nest box, and also having space for the mother and her kids to roam around. Yes, you want to ensure that it is spacious enough for them to roam around, to move around when necessary. You understand? So that is that about that. It's very, very important. The nest box must be there always. It must be there always for the mother that is pregnant, that is soon to deliver. You understand? Also, the cage must not be overcrowded for the mother and the baby. You understand? Also, I don't encourage the practice of taking the female to the male and leaving it there. No. That's why we always talk about the fact that you should observe your rabbit, your female rabbit, for when she's on it. Because when she's on it, you take it to the male, she's going to be receptive to the male. You understand? Because she's on it, she's willing to cross that time. And then the male can cross that 1 or 2 or 3 times in your presence. And then you remove your rabbit from there. And that's all. In 12 hours after crossing, fertilization takes place. And 24 hours afterwards, you can start cutting the next 30 days for the delivery of your female rabbit. So, but if you leave it with the male, even though she has been successfully crossed, the male will still be making an attempt to cross her. That will be stressing her. That can kill her. It can also make her to lose her pregnancy if she didn't even lose her life. Yes. And when the pressure is too much for your female rabbit from the female rabbit can also destroy the scrotum of your male. So it is not a good practice. When there is stress from housing, and some other management practices error, then the female rabbit can be overstressed and can lose the pregnancy easily. So you want to avoid those kind of tendency so that you don't lose your female rabbit. That being said, uh, the size of the doe is another very important factor. That's why I talk about the age of the doe, the initial point in this video. If your doe is not big enough, she's not going to come on it, and that means she's not going to get pregnant. So you want to ensure that your doe is well fed so that she can come on it and so that she can get pregnant. It is the doe that is of good size that will come on it and that will get pregnant. So you want to ensure that you are feeding your doe properly, taking absolute good care of them so that they can come on it and get pregnant quite easily. So when they are too small in body size, it's not going to come on it and it's not going to get pregnant. And that is something you definitely want to avoid. Also, there are more reports of people saying that they do refuse to come on it in this season, or they cross the door but she did not conceive. This is a rampant experience for most farmers during this dry season. Yes, and that is oftentimes due to heat stress. So the first thing I would say, because I'm not even experiencing it on our farm, as at yesterday I still crossed some females. As at today, some females just gave birth, and we still have more deliveries on the way. Now, it's very simple to overcome heat stress. Number one is to ensure that your house, your rabbit cage, is well ventilated. Make sure your rabbit cages are well ventilated. What do I mean by the cage should be well ventilated? This is what I mean. Breeze can come in from the left, from the right, from the up, from the ground. You understand? The same thing applies here. The same thing applies here. Look at this. This kind of cage makes for cross ventilation. The fresh air can come in from here. The fresh air can come in from here. Can come in from everywhere. This is cross ventilation. And with cross ventilation, the tendency of heat stress is drastically reduced. Is what? Is drastically reduced. So you want to ensure that the kind of housing system you are using is such that makes it easy for fresh air to come into the rabbit space. Yes, you want to ensure that it is such that makes it easy for fresh air to come into their space. So when this is the case, then you really don't have an issue with heat stress whatsoever. It is when the heat is too much, that is when your rabbit will be suffering from the effect of the heat stress. And that's why it's always good to actually provide a shade on top like we have here. Something like this. A shape on top like this for your rabbit cage. You understand? When we build a bigger building, I'm going to make a video and show you how that one should be done for those who are on a larger scale too. So I'm going to make that video and let you know. So that being said, when you make your cage in such a way that it allows for fresh air to come in, then you don't have an issue with heat stress at all. Heat stress is the reason why your female rabbit does not come in on it easily, and the reason why they cross and they don't conceive. It can really affect rabbit a lot. It affects them a whole lot. So in order to guide against the effect of severe heat, you want to ensure that you build their cage properly with nets. I don't encourage using wood. What I mean by using wood is that, look at this place now. We use nets on this side for their cage. We use nets on this side for their cage. Some people will use wood here. They will use wood here. They have covered the entire place with wood. There will be no space for breeze to enter in the rabbit cage. Now, if that is the kind of housing you are using for your rabbit, then you are subjecting to the rabbit to serious vulnerability of heat stress. When the heat is too much, when the sun is too high, the wood that you have used will not allow fresh air to come in, and then that can affect the rabbits. You see them panting, you see them drinking water the more, and some people don't even give enough water. You can imagine, these are animals just like human beings. This is dry season, we all drink water a lot. The same thing applies to the rabbit. They need as much water as they can get because of this season that the heat is on the high side. So you want to ensure that you make water available. Yes, you want to ensure that you make water available to your rabbit so that the heat will not be too severe for them to bear. You understand? So availability of water is very, very paramount in this season, and good feed and good housing. You understand? So these are very important things. Yeah, I think the last point here is the medication. Yes, medication for your rabbit is also very important. I always encourage people that if your rabbit is of age 5 to 6 months and has refused to come on it, you can actually make it come on it quite easily by deworming the rabbit. Yes, if you deworm the rabbit and the rabbit did not come on it, then the rabbit is not old enough to come on it. Let me also say this: there are some rabbits that mature at 8 months. Yes, 6 months they are not yet matured. It will reach 8 months before they mature. No matter what you do, you do have to wait for 8 months. Especially the bigger sized body rabbits, the larger breeds, they reach 8 months before they mature and start crossing for reproduction. So if they don't show signs of it, it's not an issue. It's just a matter of there. It only requires them to attain more body weight, and then they would start reproduction. So that is another thing you must take note of. You understand? So deworming your rabbit is very important. Also, antibiotic where necessary and multivitamin. At least your rabbit should have multivitamin twice in a week. You can use iTop, you can use Mazid, and some other rabbit friendly multivitamin. You understand? And for those who say they cannot inject rabbits with ivermectin injection, you can actually get an ivermectin oral. There is the oral drug, so it's not a must that you use the injection. You can actually go ahead and just use the oral. It will still serve the same purpose. You understand? Whether it is injection or oral, it's still serving the same purpose altogether. So you can use the oral, which you are going to mix inside their water. It will still go a long way to deworm them. So this is what I have for you guys today. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section and I'll be there to answer your question. Thanks for watching my video. If you've learned something, like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video. Have a lovely weekend. Bye for now.